allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1.
To place on file the Planning Commission recommendation to sell a portion of Center Square at Main Street and Riverside Avenue because it would be in compliance with the 2015 Bristol Plan of Conservation and Development.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 2.
Place on file the recommendation from the Bristol Development Authority regarding the real estate tax assessment fixing agreement for the Bristol Hospital Incorporated proposed medical office building on Center Square downtown development site.
Move it.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 3.
Presentation by Bristol Hospital Incorporated regarding its offer to purchase a portion of city-owned property known as Center Square at Main Street and Riverside Avenue.
Is that Kirk?
Thank you so much for giving us the chance to present tonight. It's been an interesting, let's say, 4, 5, 6 months almost now for the hospital and city, and I have to tell you, it's been a great process. We've worked through a whole bunch of different issues, and we're really truly excited to be here tonight. So we put together a presentation for all of you that describes, where we are at this point, and I'm hopeful that we can move forward. As I said at the beginning of this process, we probably spent north of $500,000 in terms of trying to develop this project and move it forward. The hospital needs this project. The business case for it is the same as when I came in front of you the first time. We are working really hard to meet the needs of the community, and we find ourselves in a very unfortunate situation not having adequate office space and moving things around. So this ambulatory structure, in our opinion, is going to help us in terms of recruiting and attracting and retaining providers, small businesses to this community, and it's going to be an exciting thing for our patients because it will consolidate a whole bunch of things into one location, make it more convenient for them. And at the same time, we feel strongly that this is going to help the city in terms of developing the downtown property and serve as a lead and a really a good way to kick this project off in a way that's going to attract other individuals to the site. So none of those things have changed. You've heard a lot about the state budget crisis and its impact on Bristol Hospital, but all those things are proposed, and I'll say to you that it's become a pretty significant pattern for us to, especially for me, to spend a lot of time at the state dealing with proposed budgets and cuts and changes. I was asked last week, well, if any of those things come true, how will that impact this project? And I'll tell you that the thing that's really made Bristol Hospital strong is that we have done things for the right reason. We've executed our strategy with unbelievable precision, and if we hadn't executed our strategy, we probably wouldn't be here today. And that is the growth strategy. We have really worked hard to implement the things that this community needs based on community need and hire and find the right positions. And so there is no way for us to cut our way through some of the things that we're seeing at the state level. So this is an integral part of our going forward strategy. Our board of directors is behind that. They have consistently said, we're not going to cut our way to a bottom line. We're going to grow over whatever hits us. And we've done that effectively. So we're not backing off of this project. And I say that from every part of me, this project is central to our future success some way, somehow. If we get, the size of what the governor proposed hits us, we're going to figure it out. And that's who we are, and that's who Bristol is. I mean, not just Bristol Hospital, but that's who this community is. So I feel very strong about that. And again, I think that moving forward, this project is going to be central to our mutual success. So I'm going to turn it over to Ryan Chick, who is the representative for Andina, who's our developer, unless you have any immediate questions for me before I do that. Okay, Ryan.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Chick. I'm with Redina Healthcare Real Estate from Jupiter, Florida. I'm here tonight really to introduce you to us so that you understand who we are and the process that we went through to end up here with Bristol Hospital working on this process, on this project, and to answer any questions that you may have about our background, our experience, what we've done in the past, and what we're working on currently. Go through a couple slides. Just to introduce us, we are a family-owned company in Jupiter, Florida. We've been in the business for almost 30 years, and what we do is medical real estate. We do it nationwide. We develop outpatient facilities, ambulatory care facilities, a little bit of inpatient, acute care. Our projects are with large health systems. They're with physician groups. They're with community hospitals. And we've been doing that as our core business for nearly 30 years, as I said. We are currently, we have 7 active offices. Our closest office here is in Livingston, New Jersey. We have several projects currently ongoing in New Jersey. And we've been in 17 states developing medical office and medical facilities. I won't go through everything on the list, just to say we've acquired or developed over 110 facilities and square footage north of 7 million square feet. This is a map showing where we've been active, in the states where we've been active in 30 years that we've been doing medical development. And then what I thought I would do is I'd walk you through a couple of projects that we're working on currently. This project particularly is in the Northeast. It's in Bayonne, New Jersey. And the reason that I show you this project is we're getting ready to finish this project. The CO will be coming in May of this year. It's a downtown redevelopment project, and it's a project that we did with RWJ Barnabas Health in New Jersey, the largest health system in New Jersey. And this was a solution for them in a downtown environment where we did redevelopment. We cleared the better part of a city block, worked with the city to do that through the redevelopment statute in the state. Barnabas wanted to go into Bayonne to offer a choice in healthcare, and so we've developed this 80,000 square foot facility. It has a freestanding ED, full imaging services, full multi-specialty. And the reason I bring it up is because it's very similar to what we're looking to do here in Bayonne. It's in a retail setting downtown. As you can see, the way that this project was designed, it was designed to keep some of the retail frontage along the street. We did that purposefully to have it mix with the environment it's in. And this project, importantly, was designed by the architecture firm that we brought to the table on our team on the Bristol project. So we work with a healthcare architecture firm out of Tennessee called Davis Stokes Collaborative. They designed this project, and they're on our team on the Bristol Hospital project as well. This is another project we're currently working on. I don't bring it up to say that it's similar to what we would do here. This is in South Florida, but only to say that we're getting ready to start construction on a Cleveland Clinic facility in South Florida. It's important because, again, it's an ambulatory care clinic, 72,000 square feet. We were selected, much like we were selected with Bristol Hospital, through a competitive RFP process with other developers. And we were selected by the clinic to develop this for Cleveland Clinic, and we'll start construction on that in April. So, the basis of design for the project here in Bristol. As we were brought on board and we started to talk to the hospital and go through the process, we were asked to take a look at Bristol. We were asked to take a look at downtown. We did some research. We saw the research that you all had done. We saw the polls that were taken. We saw some people voted on designs for buildings and for the downtown redevelopment. We took that all into consideration, and based upon our past experience, and we looked at this project and we said, you know, we know that it's going to be 55,000 to 60,000 square feet. 3 stories is preliminarily what we're looking at in terms of design. We're still going through our programming with the hospital to finalize that. Obviously, this has to bring some blend of, you know, a state-of-the-art medical facility with traditional downtown urban design that's in keeping with downtown Bristol. It's traditional. We're planning to use traditional materials. It's going to be brick, glass, plaster, stone. It'll be utilized on the exterior elevations. We'll probably use awnings or columns to articulate the first floor and try to keep some retail feel along Riverside and Main. We're planning a street-level entrance, probably on the corner, just to enhance the sense of arrival. And then we'll use a lot of glass throughout the facility, as we do on all of our facilities. And we do that for natural light, especially in the waiting room and common areas throughout the facilities. This is just a rough timeline that we've put together because I know everybody's been asking the question when. So this is a timeline. Now, this timeline was based upon we had assumed a signature date on the purchase and sale agreement at the end of February. We're working toward that now. But as you can see, what the timeline, the bigger items to highlight in the timeline are the 3 months from when we start. We really jump into design. So we have ourselves somewhere around June 1st, you can see in that first line, finishing our design, submitting for our approvals with the town. I've been in active conversations already with the city, and we've talked about design, and we've talked about some zoning and some concepts. So those will continue. We're ballparking the beginning of June for a time frame when we'd have a plan done and we could bring it in formally for approvals of the city. We've outlined the approval process with the city, the program development that we're going to go through at the hospital that the hospital's already undertaken and continues to refine, the building design timeline, our permitting timeline, and then our construction timeline. We're hoping to be in construction fourth quarter of this year, and construction on this facility should be give or take 12 months depending on how the weather treats us. That's all I had in terms of a formal presentation to you. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to ask any questions or to have any further discussion about Rendina, what we do, the projects that we've built, and our experience.
Any of the council have questions? We're going to be going into executive session. Yeah, we are, but first we're doing it for the council right now. Any questions now? No. Okay. Go ahead. Through the chair. Brian, do you contemplate this to be a land lease situation where you're going to lease the property from the hospital?
Yes, the hospital will purchase the property and we'll ground lease the property from the hospital.
Is this how you prepared or performed in your other projects as well?
The overwhelming majority of our projects are on ground leases, yes.
The hospital and Rendina does not yet have a contract together?
Correct.
A written contract?
That's correct.
What's the timing of that? How does it relate to what we do tonight in terms of our purchase and sale agreement?
I don't know that the contract between Rendina and the hospital, we've been through rounds of comments now and we're finalizing, and so I would hope that contract's finished in the next couple of weeks. I don't see any major stumbling blocks in the contract, so I think we'll be done and finalized within the next several weeks. Yep.
Anyone from the public here to speak, please come on up.
To my name and address.
Name and address, please, yeah.
Andy Adams, 67 Bayberry Drive, Bristol, Connecticut. I just wanted to comment, I'm a Bristol Hospital employee. I've been working at Bristol for 30 plus years, well 30 years actually. It's my anniversary this year. And I just want to let you know how important I think this project is with the downtown revitalization. I was hoping to see the retail begin first, but that hasn't happened. But we have an opportunity here with this building starting that process, bringing foot traffic downtown. We have some really great physicians in the community that we can now bring together. We have a great surgeon that actually brings people all over the state to the hospital for some orthopedic surgery. So this is going to be great for Bristol, and I just have to tell you, I'm very impressed with the presentation and what you are already doing across the country. So it gets me excited. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Anyone else care to speak? Seeing none. Motion to go to item number 5, executive session.
So moved.
Second. Motion made, seconded. Discussion. Ed, who's going in? We're going to have
a whole lot of people. Whoever Bristol Hospital wants to bring in with their team and Rendina, I assume. Attorney Connell and myself, Bob Flanagan, the city planner, Walt Veselka, the Public Works Director, and Justin Nally, the BDA Director. I think all of them can perhaps answer questions about certain pieces of the contract as drafted, if any of those come up. And I don't think there's anybody else.
That's it on our side. Trace, do you need a list from the Bristol Hospital who's coming in? Corey, you want to tell us who's coming in?
So it's going to be John Ludovico, John Ludovico, John Leone, Tiffany, representatives from Jones Lang LaSalle, Rondina, and legal counsel.
I need names.
So Frank.
Second.
So
I'll
Tiffany,
need
can you?
spellings of their names as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Tiffany will give you a list of the names. And you're going into, right, Kurt?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Can I clarify one thing?
Go ahead.
So to the question that Commissioner asked about the relationship between the two agreements, we need to have a firm agreement with the city to be able to finalize our agreement with Rondina. So is that the question you were asking?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So it's really critical that we have a firm agreement before we sign an agreement with the developer. So Kurt Barbs is going in. John Leone, John Ludovico.
I got that.
Brian Chick, and Ed Henry.
For Trace?
I've got it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion passes. We're just waiting for Attorney Conlon to come back with some copies of papers. Right there. Here's. Don't you know the boss, Tony?
Yeah, just minimal. Make sure the right.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll, can I have a motion to come back into session? So moved. Motion made, seconded. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion passes. Let the record show no votes were taken in executive session. Do we have a motion? We do, Mayor. I hereby move that the City of Bristol enter into a purchase and sale agreement with Bristol Hospital Incorporated, whereby the city shall sell a 3.72-acre parcel of property within the area now known as Center Square for the purchase price of $50,000 per acre or
We have to amend it.
To the closing of the purchase and sales agreement, not the execution, the closing. I'll tell them.
I don't think we have enough lawyers here.
Do I have to start over, please?
You're going to wherever you've gone, that's fine. We'll just restart. You're at the 50,000 per acre. There's no change up to there.
Yep.
The first paragraph, you can...
For the purchase price of $50,000 per acre or any portion thereof. And I further move that the City of Bristol enter in a tax-fixing agreement with Bristol Hospital Incorporated pursuant to Connecticut General Statute Section 12-65B for a period of not more than 10 years at a set rate forth in Schedule D to the purchase and sale agreement. And I hereby move that as a condition precedent to the City of Bristol's closing of the purchase and sale agreement, Bristol Hospital Incorporated shall have executed its development agreement with Rondina Healthcare Real Estate. I further move that Bristol Hospital Incorporated shall provide a landscaping plan mutually acceptable to the Bristol Development Authority and the buyer using commercially reasonable judgment for the coverage of the expansion area, generally known as the area of the southwest corner of the development parcel. I further move that the mayor be authorized to execute the purchase and sale agreement on behalf of the city of Bristol, and that the Corporation Council be authorized to adjust and amend the purchase and sale agreement and tax fixing agreement to correct typographical or scrivener's errors, and to provide such exhibits or schedules as contemplated within the agreements.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Hang on. Are we good?
Yes.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Your Honor, I'd just like to say to the public that from my perspective on the council, I think it's very exciting to be able to work with Bristol Hospital, a great corporate citizen of the city of Bristol, to begin to develop the initial development for the overall downtown lot that has preoccupied so much of the time of this council and of the previous councils and of citizens for over a decade now. So I'm grateful and excited to be working with Bristol Hospital on this development. And I want the public to know that this council has done everything that it can do to try and look out for the community's interests at large, while also being sympathetic to the Bristol Hospital's timeline and what's reasonable for them and for their development at this time. And the Bristol Development Authority has worked so hard. Justin and his team, Councilor Perleski, the mayor, Corp Council have all worked diligently with Bristol Hospital up to this point. And we, as a body, will continue to make sure that this development and all future development on the downtown lot are conducive to the overall vision for the future of the city, and that all development on the downtown lot is something that every citizen of Bristol can be proud of. I know from the very beginning of this discussion, people have always been interested in how big the building's going to be, what exactly it's going to look like, whether or not there's going to be retail or other components, and some of those have been open questions up until now. But luckily, because Rendina was here tonight, we got a taste of some of the wonderful and beautiful developments that they've done across the country. And we're able to get a sense for what our own Bristol Hospital building downtown is going to look like. And I'm confident that Bristol Hospital and Rendina, working with city agencies, will be able to develop a building that looks like it belongs in our downtown. And furthermore, I'm confident that this development is conducive and will support future development, so that maybe we don't get our retail right now on this first Bristol Hospital development, but I'm optimistic it can come in the future with further developments. This Bristol Hospital project should be, and I believe will be, the catalyst for other future downtown development. That's what makes this so important, and that's what makes it an urgent matter for the City Council to act on tonight.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, Your Honor, I'd just like to mention there's a lot of things that the public could see behind there, and one of the things that, I'm not going into the gory details, but one of the things, fine byproducts of what we just had was, I think, the word compromise. I think we've gone a long distance here to make everyone as happy as we can make them, to take in their concerns, and I understand that Bristol Hospital, as well as Rendina and their entire board, have put in a lot of effort to this deal. It's a concern of mine to make sure that the effort was not squandered, that it wasn't wasted, that it was good faith effort, and that they'll be able to execute their plans. Obviously, I've gotten to meet for the first time some of the principals from Radina and JL, and I think we have a great team. Well, they have a great team, and I'm very pleased with the type of buildings that they've built in the past. I'm comfortable with some of the materials that they wish to use to build the building downtown Bristol here, and I'm excited because this is a game changer. Not just for Bristol Hospital, by the way, because it is a game changer for them and their strategy moving ahead as a going concern, and being one of the top taxpayers in Bristol, that's and employers in Bristol, that's important to me as well. So their success is going to be our success. Their downfall would be our downfall, so it's important that we recognize that, and I think we've done that tonight by providing them the platform in which to succeed for a long time to come. Again, I'm very pleased to be sitting on a council at this moment in time to be able to finally say that we're going to be doing something in the open lot that's been sitting there for 10 years. It really is, it's a great thing, and I want to say thank you to Kurt and to John and the entire team. Thank you very much for providing us this opportunity, and hopefully you recognize that that we're helping you to provide that as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Before we go in, Council, we have an amendment. Teresa, we get this, right? We just have to modify one of the motions. I further move that the condition precedent, as a condition precedent to the City of Bristol's closing the purchase and sale agreement, Bristol Hospital Incorporated shall have executed its development agreement with Rendina Healthcare Real Estate, here's the addition, or a developer mutually acceptable to the parties. So Mayor, I'd like to amend the motion.
Do I have a second? Second. Motion made and seconded. Okay, now discussion.
I would like to second what both Councilmans Brown and D'Amato have already said.
Well, we've got to vote on the amendment.
Can it just be a friendly amendment? Without a vote?
We're going to vote on.
We haven't voted on it.
We're going to vote on the amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Again, I would like to second what they have already stated. I think that we believe in and know that the hospital is going to provide us with a very nice building to fit into our downtown. We do trust that they are members of the community as well, and they will do everything they can for the city to make the city look nice and to develop the parking lot that we've seen over there for far too long. And because there's going to be so many doctors and patients and nurses and everyone going to that site every day, fairly soon, hopefully, that just having those people there will be a catalyst for the retail that we do need in the area. And that retail will spring up to try to accommodate the people that are going to be there because of the hospital. So thank you for partnering with us and working with us, and hopefully everybody's happy in the end, and I think we will be. Thank you.
Just a very brief statement. I came back to the council this term for 3 reasons. Among three primary reasons. One was the fields, which we've got completed. Second was downtown, which we're getting started with, and I won't tell you what the third one is right now, but if we got 2 out of 3, if we can get 3 for 3, that's certainly worth it. But we're looking forward to this. The many walks that were alluded to before through this property, now we're going to be encumbered, which is great with me. I'll have to go around a little bit further, but I'm looking forward to this building going up. I'm looking forward to shovels in the ground, as many people in Bristol are. And if the renditions that we've seen tonight are any example of what's going to happen, we're all going to be proud of what the building does, and it's going to attract the people we want to attract downtown. As I said earlier, the building can look, it'll look beautiful, but it's what's going to be in the building that's going to be critical. And all the development downtown, I think if we have that premise and going forward, that it's something that people are going to come and use, that's what we want to do. So, welcome. Thank you.
Let's all work hard, so this is just the beginning, okay? That's it. It's a new record. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
As the only person up here who voted no in regard to the letter of intent about 1.5 years ago, I do want to say that I'm generally a hopeful person, and I do believe that we've come a long way from 15 months ago or whenever it was. And I think at the time I said that my primary reason for voting no is because I didn't think the project fit into the vision of downtown that I thought a lot of people share. I think it has come closer to that. It's still not something I'm excited about yet, but I think, again, I'm hopeful, and I think we're getting there. Thank you.
Say, as mayor, I'm excited to see here tonight. What got me involved in politics in the first place was when the city bought the mall property. I didn't think the city belonged buying it, and many years later I found it ironic that I was sitting in the seat overlooking an empty lot. So to sit here tonight and have one of our biggest employers making a commitment to downtown is huge. We thank you. This is the spark that ignites more projects, and I want to thank you and your employees for stepping up to the plate. Bristol Hospital has been great to Bristol and is doing much more today. This is a huge project, and I'm excited to be here, so thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Congratulations.
So moved.
Move.
Motion made, second, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion passes.